Hey, it's Ted here. I'm in the drive lab and I have a project that came in, a little crusty one. It's an older DPE. I got to see if I can get the serial number off of it, but I'll give you the first look and then we're going to pull the head unit off and put it in the fixture tool and the vise so you can see how this comes apart. The upper is locked up and we're going to see if we can diagnose that problem, fix that. So let me give you a look. So here it is, a little crusty. You can kind of see the lower unit. You know, the anode's totally pretty much gone. Props aren't in bad shape. Haven't checked run out yet, but you know, this is a saltwater drive, as you can tell. Had an issue trying to get it off. The pins were really frozen, so it hadn't been apart in a long time. And here is the universal joint. These will rotate, but the whole input shaft is frozen. So my assumption is that carrier seal in there has completely failed and water maybe has gotten in behind the bearings. I don't know. So I'm gonna pull this off and put this in the fixture tool, which is just a half of a upper intermediate drive shaft welded on a piece of angle steel. All right, all fasteners out. Just grab the upper gear housing and lift it straight up. Comes right off. Put it on the fixture tool here. Okay, so here is where the upper housing comes off, and inside here are shims, so make sure you take those shims out. When you're going to take this off, I'm going to end up taking this midsection all apart and clean it out. And then if you reach in here with your finger, kind of wiggle it, you can pull that intermediate drive shaft out. So this is the intermediate drive shaft or drive saver, and I like to look through it just to see if it's if the splines are bent, and these are straight, so that's a good sign. So we're going to put a new one back in when we put it back together. But I want to get this apart first so I can actually see what kind of conditions it's in. So this will be the tear down and rebuild procedure for a DPE upper gear case. That's what we're going to do in the next video. This spins pretty free on the lower bearing. The shift actuator is totally functional, so that's a good sign. The upper has not been removed. These bolts have not been disturbed. There is this plastic insert here that, you know, plugs these little holes for looks, and that hasn't been removed, and these bolts have definitely not been removed. So the upper gear case has not been taken apart yet. So my assumption is that this, where this bearings, double bearing mix is, the seal has failed and this inner bearing has probably locked right up. I'm just hopeful it hasn't migrated through into the lower bearing area and corroded that. There is some corrosion on the inside of that intermediate shaft. So the midsection's got to come off. We're going to look at that, and then we'll take the props off probably, and we'll see what comes out of the gear case. I haven't even drained the gear lube out, but it had gear lube in it. So the next step will be to pull this intermediate out. And you can see these bolts have never been removed, and it's been sitting in salt water for a long time. So we're going to pump that out next and see what we got. It is the right size. Feels like it's too small. Looks like it's corroded right out. One. Shoe buckle my shoe. Two. Wow. Housing isn't corroded. Yep. I think this is just a clean up and double bearing box because this bearing looks perfect. So that seal's failed, which is lock that inner bearing up. So we're going to pop this housing off next. Starting to come out. There's the gap. There we go. Alright, now we got it freed up and it should just slide right out nice. Yep, nice and straight. There we go. So it looks like the inside gears look fine. The bearings have definitely seized up in here, so this is the whole problem. We're going to take this apart and rebuild this. While I'm at it, I'm going to take this all apart. So basically what I'm going to do is take the shifter out, move these 4 bolts, pull this out. I have this in the fixture, same fixture as DPS. I'm going to change that upper gasket O-ring here so I can discard this. This nut, we're going to take this off next, and this is a left-hand thread nut, so we're going to turn it clockwise to loosen it. 30 millimeters. Yeah, that's tight, original. Okay, so a 7/16 socket. Hopefully these come out and I don't have to heat it up. Loose, lucky. Yeah, good. Yep, it'll all come out, it looks like. I had my doubts. Okay, that's better. You can set them out. Keep them all together so we don't mix them up. I like to put non-hardening sealer on these when I put them back together. And the threads, it looks like there is some on there. And the same things can apply. They have spots in here for screwdrivers and you can pop it off. So there's the shift actuator. Okay. Very similar to DPS, different look to it, different bolt pattern. Okay, just an earlier version. So at this point now, I've got both sides up. I can reach in here and I can push this upper gear out. Now, one thing to make note is, just like on DPS, there are shims on the top of this. So inside that cover, I'm gonna look and see if there's any shims, and I don't see any other shims. So there's one shim here that holds that bearing from spinning, and I'm going to put that back in the house. I don't lose that way when I put this back together. Okay. So I can push up on the cup, and there are shims under there as well. I want to keep those together. And there is the upper here. Okay, that's going to get all cleaned out. You have the cone clutch inside, which you can spin up the shaft and take out. Okay, there is also a spring, like DPS in there. And again, this is marked top, so you can't really mix it up, putting it on there. The cone doesn't look too bad. It still has the grooves in it, so I'm pretty sure that's gonna be all right. So here is the lower gear. There's the assembly with the shaft in it. What we're going to do is we're going to try to take this whole gear assembly and slide it out nice and evenly. Right, it just falls out of the housing. So if it was stuck in the fixture tool, you know, laying it on the table and working it around is to get it out is okay. So I can put, now this has shims under this gear, okay, that go against the housing. So I'm going to leave those on this gear. I'm not going to take that assembly apart yet. I want to keep it together so I know that that is the lower gear and this is the upper gear, and I'll wash them independently. You'll also have on the upper gear assembly, you'll have those cage needle bearings. You don't want to mix those up again, so once I clean this off, I'll mark that bearing when I put it back together, and I want to keep these shims together with it too. Right, so I'm going to go through cleaning this out, and the next thing I'll do is I'll take that double bearing box. I'm going to show you how to do that next. All right, so next we're going to take the double bearing box and we're going to put that in a soft jawed vise against those universal joints that are in excellent condition. So these are going to definitely need a replacement. What I'm going to do is stick this on the vise, clamp it down. Firmly, and then I need a 7/16 12-point socket. Okay, so again, 7/16 12-point socket, just like DPS. A lot of similarities in some of this. The housings are very different. The setup procedures of this are very different. So this, that's a press fit for the actual rolling torque of this assembly. So once I get this loose, I can switch over. That has Loctite on it as well. We're going to replace that bolt and put a brand new bolt on it when we put it back together again. Okay. So the next is to pull this gear assembly off. Let me put my other gloves back on.